Hello, this is Sean from Time and Talk. I thought I'd make another review video today, one of my newest acquisitions, which is a Seiko Mini Turtle. First of all, just to run through a little bit of history of the watch. This is a watch with quite a lot of heritage. The history of the Turtle goes back to the 70s. The precursor to this watch was called the 6105, which is actually famous for being worn by Martin Sheen in Apocalypse Now, and that was kind of a precursor to the Turtle. The Turtle, as we know it, came to be with the 6309 in 1977. Turtle's obviously not the name the Seiko give to the watches. It's a nickname given by consumers. Some people like it, some people don't, but obviously it's related to the watch's characteristic shape, which resembles a turtle. The original Turtles are quite big watches. When the Turtle was re-released in 2016, the SRP, blah blah blah, whatever numbers follow the SRP, there's various models. Were big watches. I actually owned one and I found it was too big for me, so I actually I didn't return it. I sold it. It was really high quality, the watch, but I just didn't wear it because it was too big. So in terms of the Turtle, the size was 44.3 millimeters in width, the case diameter. It was 40 millimeters in height, 48 millimeters lug to lug, and it had a lug width of 22 millimeters. It was a big watch, but having said that, if you have slightly bigger wrists than mine, I think mine is 6.25 inches and quite thin, but it did wear for me smaller than that because of the lug to lug measurement at 48 millimeters, which, to put it into perspective, is the same lug to lug measurement as the Rolex Submariner, which, as you will know, is 40 millimeters. So I sold the Turtle, and then I discovered that Seiko had released what is now known as the Mini Turtle in 2017. So SRPC, and again followed by various reference numbers. There's four Mini Turtles that you can buy. There's a black with a rubber strap, a blue with a rubber strap, a paddy version with a Pepsi bezel, and a black with a bracelet. Obviously, I decided to get the blue version. I bought it on eBay, so I got it a bit cheaper than I might have been expected to if I would have bought it from the shop. Though I don't think you can actually buy them in shops in Britain. I've never seen them for sale. As with other Seiko watches, you can get J and K versions, J being made in Japan and K being made in Korea, I think. So this is a K. This is a K version. So I'll just show you the watch. It's a very nice colour blue. Like the Turtle, it's very well made. It's quite robust and good quality. I like the rubber straps. Personally, I don't like the idea of wearing a Seiko dive watch on a bracelet, but some people recommend getting the bracelet version. The rubber strap's quite solid. It's got a Seiko kind of buckle on it, and a thing for keeping the strap in place. It's got drilled lug holes, which, if you've never owned a watch with drilled lug holes, it's the way forward, because they're brilliant. Dead easy to switch a strap up, and obviously with this being a 20mm lug width, I can actually put other straps on it, because normally when you buy a Seiko dive watch and it's 22mm lug width, you have to constantly buy new straps to accommodate the new watch. I've still got a 22mm NATO that I can never use because I don't own any other watches with a 22mm lug width. So just a bit of a run through of the specifications. So this is different to the Turtle in some ways. The crown is in a different position. On the Turtle, it's at 4 o'clock, but on this, it's at 3 o'clock. You'll notice it has a cyclops, which some people don't like and some people do. It's also different in terms of its measurements. This is 42.3 millimeters in width. It's 13 millimeters deep. The lug to lug is about 43, which is tiny for a dive watch apparently, but I think it wears really well. It wears really nicely, and 42, to be honest, is not that small, but it wears like a smaller watch, I think, and I like that. Some people don't like small watches, but I prefer smaller watches. It's got a lug width of 20, as I've mentioned. The crystal is hardlex, not sapphire crystal, so it's a mineral crystal used on most Seiko watches that are in this price range. Fine, I've never had any problems with it. The movement inside is the 4R35 movement. It's hacking and hand winding, unlike the SKX, which you had to kind of shake around like this when you got up in the morning to wear it, to make it start if you were going to wear it. This one's not like that, which is great. It's 200-meter water resistant, ISO certified. So it's a proper dive watch that you can use as a tool for diving, and it's a pretty nice watch too. The loom on Seiko dive watches is normally awesome. Just show you a quick loom shot. And all in all, I think this watch is a brilliant watch. You know, it's relatively cheap. I remember the days when you know, £100 was a lot of money for a watch, but now that I'm into watches, I know that it's not. So this is quite a cheap watch, especially for what you get. However, there are some problems with this watch. I mean, one thing I've noticed, if you look under the bezel, it looks there's kind of symmetrical holes in it. I'm not sure if that's part of the manufacturing process. I've read a little bit about Seiko's poor quality control, and perhaps that is part of it. So that's a weak point for the watch for me. As well as this, the bezel action is not the best. I was disappointed really as soon as I turned it. I've kind of got used to it now, and I'm not sure whether it's me or whether the bezel's not that great. I've read on a couple of forums people describing the bezel action as being like mashed potato. I wouldn't quite go that far, but it isn't the best bezel. Having said that, the only other dive watch that I've really owned apart from the Turtle was the Omega Seamaster, which is about 3,000 quid, so you'd expect that to be have a better bezel action. Yeah, so in general, really like the watch. I think it's really nice looking. It's quite well made. It's good quality, but it's not a perfect watch, and there are some bad points. For example, the bezel action and the bizarre marks underneath the bezel. Tell me what you think in the comments, or whether you've had good experiences with Seiko dive watches or not. Let me know what you think about the things that I've outlined. If you like my channel, please subscribe, and obviously tell me what you think about this watch in the comments. Thanks very much. Bye.